I did it. Yes. Okay. We are live according to Zoom. So
which is nice.
that should mean I should be able to go over here and make sure that we are. Bear with me just a moment. Welcome, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona, and you are watching us on New Light Streaming Love here on YouTube. I did make an announcement earlier today. I am joined by the New Light Streaming Love team. We're one member short this evening, but Lisa Flamino Rush, my housemate, and also Lori Cobb is joining us from Tell Your Story to Lori and Love Letters from the Universe and Heart Song Musings. Ladies, thanks for joining me.
Yay. Good to be here.
Yeah, man. This is exciting.
Yay!
I was going to say, thank you. You had me for a second. I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
Like, oh. Happy Saturday evening, one of you all. I hope people are joining in. Is there a chat you can look at?
Well, that's what I'm trying to pull up now.
I can go like on YouTube, like I can go to the YouTube and then pull that up.
Yes, you should be able to go to YouTube and pull that up. If indeed that it is working.
I wonder if that was my notification.
I don't know. I'm just
wait a minute. It says we're live, but you know what?
What?
It does not appear to be live. It does not appear to be live on the channel. I wanted to be live.
It's live.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where? Is it on New Light?
Huh?
Is it on New Light?
Well, it must be. Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you, because
I'm looking.
And I'm the only one watching.
Oh, okay.
So that's me.
Hold on. We can figure this out. New Light Streaming.
Oh, no, it is. Well, see, it wouldn't come up on my tablet is what the problem was for me anyway.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to take a moment.
Okay, I lost the chat.
And I'm going to share this to let everybody know that we are live.
Okay.
Live now.
Oh, I see it. Okay. All right, I'm going to mute it.
Y'all here now? We're here now and we're here now. So
yeah,
this is the best.
Be here now. That's the message.
Oh my God, we are live.
We're doing
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to share it too. I'm going to share it. Where should I share it? I'm going to share it everywhere.
Oh, okay. That would be lovely. Summer is here, you guys. Summer Isabel has joined us.
Yay. Hi, Summer. More active today.
All right. So I finally got everything.
Facebook.
I'm not quite sure. Oh, there it is.
We're going to get okay.
All right.
That would be lovely. Summer is here.
See, that's the kind of delay we got. Okay. So it finally kicked in on my tablet and there we go. So
yeah, there's Summer. Yay. I'm going to turn this off though. My phone needs charging. I'll lose it.
So Summer said, hi, ladies.
Hi, Summer.
Okay.
I'm going to get off the Facebook now and I'm going to go back to this.
Okay. So I'm really grateful that you guys were available to come and chat tonight, because there's just been, for me, as you might know, well, I mean, because I've shared on my other my channel, Sassy Seer Sheila, that there's been a lot going on for me this whole entire year, but of late, and the reason I titled this Phoenix Energy Timeline Splits Portal Openings, What's It Like for You, is because, there's a lot of different stuff going on or going around that, today being 11/11, there's a lot of folks talking about the 11/11 portal that's opened.
Okay. Talk more about that.
Well, I honestly, I don't know what to think about those sorts of things. Energetically right now, I do feel some sort of open window. I'm going to use Lisa's mother's terminology.
Okay.
She can feel when the window is open for something and when the window closes for something.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Lisa's mom. Okay, I'm using her terminology here. And I feel there's a window open because I feel what she said when she said that. So for me, I kind of got what she meant. A window of opportunity where the energy is rich and ripe for whatever. And well, then I also saw, I actually recorded and put out on this channel and on my channel, the latest channeling from Sophia Love of the One, where I very clearly felt that it was the same energetic coming through there. Yeah. That there's a window of opportunity right now on the planet, right? And that so I kind of wanted to get together and see what folks at large were experiencing, what you guys have been experiencing, because there was also something from Michael Love, who channels the Pleiadians, saying very specifically that there was going to be a timeline split.
Yeah.
I read that to Lisa, and then the next thing I know, Lisa is sharing with me. You want to talk about what you saw and then what we then, because that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that sacred geometry stuff about the two timelines. So it was a YouTube video, and they were talking about two separate spirals, or others might refer to that as timelines, that are concurrent, but that would be separating. And that person, and that apparently, whose material was this again?
Well, see, there's such
I didn't know that piece till I shared the video with you.
No, that's true. Well, see, that's why I said there's such a huge bunch of synchronicities involved in that video.
So many.
Because the first one that you and I watched together from that was a 2-year-old video.
Right.
Claiming that November 8th and 9th was going to be a timeline split.
Of those two
spiral and he was quoting from the work of Ashiana Dean.
That's her name. Oh, nice.
Oh.
Now let me tell y'all something about this. See, this is quite interesting too. What I've noticed about me is when there's a puzzle piece that lights up, and I feel driven to do something about that puzzle piece, I will do whatever it is. And this is before I even realized what I was doing. Okay. Right. This was circa 2010. I saw the conversation between Carrie Cassidy and Ashiana Dean.
Okay.
And I immediately bought both her books. Never read them. Never felt drawn to read them.
Yeah.
But couldn't live without those books. So the fact that now here, all these years later, comes this 2-year-old video where he is interpreting the information
her work, the same stuff.
Her work. Exactly. And so, so please, Lisa, I mean, because that was pretty huge.
No, really, it was. And not only that, but there seemed to be around that time a whole bunch of other people sort of discussing the same thing, about the crystal. Is it the crystal spiral?
The Christic.
The Christic
spiral.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Christic spiral
versus the Metatronic death spiral, I guess.
Yeah, that's how he referred to it.
Yeah, there's definitely some perception filters going on in that. But
when you say Metatronic, do you mean like Metatron, like Archangel Metatron?
That's
which was what I've heard is the archangel that was one of the secondary ones that is more. I don't want to be wrong here.
Okay.
Is it more like earthbound? Like again, a different type of energetic. Like,
Yeah,
again, if they're going to split.
Yeah. See, now, honestly, here's my take
I'm
on
thinking like this. The splits are
right.
like, okay, so like a time, like an hourglass, where there's that like
Well, that's
thing in the
interesting.
middle and the two spirals going the opposite. So people have that option. And I get the hourglass imagery consistently throughout my days when
I love
yeah,
it. That was very beautiful what you did.
Not just beautiful, but it was highly intuitive, and
I'm just here to channel my information, man.
Thank
I don't know
you.
where it's coming from.
Yes.
It's so not my brain. It's so not me.
Thank you for showing up, young lady.
yes, because I want you to know that the minute you said hourglass and the counter rotating, you know what I saw was the figure 8.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
Exactly.
Yeah. And next year is the 8 year of transformation. So like we're on point. Like I believe we are on point for like ultimate transformation as a humanity.
No.
I feel it. I don't know what that means,
Yes.
but it's like it's super exciting. Yeah, there's a lot of crap happening, a lot. And I'm not taking anything away from that. It's horrifying, it's sad, it makes me want to cry sometimes. Cry, let out your emotions, express yourself. Like that's the whole point, is to like work on that dysregulation of that ocean of emotions.
Right. So true. So
Spiral.
true.
And think about that's also an archetype for like a tornado.
Isn't that something? And you said that you have been seeing these figure 8s or this hourglass.
In my like everything, I used it as like metaphor, it's imagery. Like I have literally, I was at my actual physical office this week and I have a magnetic hourglass, and I literally chose to turn it over and watch them, like the magnets all go through again. So it's not sand in that one. So it's different, right? It's pulling it through magnetically. But I like the magnetically anyway. I have to go there tomorrow. I'll take a picture of it. But it's like it's electromagnetic beings. I think there's a lot of resonance to understanding. The heart resonance is so much more powerful than the brain resonance, and that has that figure eightness to it.
Right.
Well, the Taurus engine, right? If you do the Taurus engine,
yes,
that's the heart,
right.
The heart chakra. I've learned in energy psychology to, I just bonked myself, to uplift yourself through here.
Okay.
Like starting from your belly button and pulling it up. And I love doing it because it always, no matter what I'm doing, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. The uplift, the better words, right? That sends us up the spiral, again, the spiral.
Right.
Instead of down spiral.
For me, you hit on a really big one that I have been practicing for quite some time now, it feels like. And my inner is really helping me with it as well. And that is the way I speak to myself, or just speak, period, but speak to myself, because that is it's not my inner guidance voice, but it is my inner.
You have no idea. Yes, this is all I've been like, okay, vibration is a real thing. So if you want to say things to yourself like could, instead of I froze for a second, but instead of the SHOULD, I've been spelling it because saying it makes me feel very
heavy.
Right? You can say, I had a whole list of positive and negative cognitions I've been working on all week with clients and whatnot. Right? And even those are reframing from the can't, or I am this negative thing, to this other and I would say the negative things and I would literally be like, let's say the positive things now. Let's reframe, because we are defaulted as a humanity to go to the negative.
Well,
I want more of us to be like can, will, shall, can, will, shall, can, will, shall. I am awesome. Like I am brilliant. I am creative. I am driven. I am enigmatic. Like pick better words, practice better words, consistently do the frequency of practice. Oh, and it's a daily thing. It has to be a daily thing. We might forget if we don't practice tomorrow.
No,
and every day we're only here is that only here in the present. We're not here any longer anywhere. Like the past is gone, the future is not here yet. We only live in a present moment, which I'm sure everybody knows is the gift. The present is the present. Be the present. Well, I mean, think about what the invisible garment teaches us, that we're delivering a gift. Our sun sign is delivering a gift,
that's
like
right.
that degree, right? So are we going to deliver? I mean, I'm going to deliver randomness every day. That's my job. That's my like energy's job to do every day. And it's supported by creativity and freaking resistance. And everything else
I
like
want to
in
go
the
back
pyramid underneath.
I want to wrap up with this thing about those videos, because I did create on both channels a hashtag puzzle pieces playlist where things that for whatever the reason they fit into my puzzle piece, my puzzle, others may not find it interesting or helpful or whatever, but for me, there's something about, first of all, the both of those videos that we watched from the same gentleman who's clearly from Australia. Both of his videos were very helpful. And the thing for me is, I have noticed some folks don't care for listening to a video if they disagree with any premise of the video. And hey, that's cool, whatevs. But for me, I have an open mind, and I know that more than one concept is always presented in a conversation. And if I'm drawn to a conversation, there's a reason. And I also notice that I have the ability to accept what resonates for me and leave the rest there. Because for whatever the reason, I now really know with all of me that every single one, every single physical being on this planet is actually channeling their divinity.
Yeah.
And they don't quite understand exactly what the divinity is trying to say all the time. And they may interpret it incorrectly. Like I said, I was shown very clearly that I didn't get it wrong. Corona actually did go viral. It just wasn't me on my YouTube channel. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like my guidance did that to me.
Well, that's a fun one. I like that one.
I do too. I love that one too, because it was exactly to show me exactly what I'm saying right here in a very funny way.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
My higher self is very punny.
Oh,
the puns for us, it really emphasized the multidimensionality, and it's enjoyable and it's fun and it's playful, because I think that's how we're supposed to proceed. If we want to get the real enjoyment out of life, then you have to enjoy everything, make it fun. Right. Yeah,
you're so right. And so that's why I kind of feel like journey into it. Crystal's in the house. She was unable to join us on the panel tonight, but she is tuning in.
But she's here with us.
Yeah, and if you find yourself able to, Crystal, I put it in our group, so
I'm trying to, but something said it failed. I don't know what that meant. I tried to share it on the Facebook group.
Oh,
from my page. But that could just be me. I'm not technologically sound.
Well, no worries.
It's okay.
I haven't even figured out how to put it on like anything else other than Facebook right now, because that's how I roll.
So
if I had my Twitter account, we'd have no problem.
I see. You still on?
I'm still upset about my loss of my Twitter account. Thanks, Elon. F off.
Oh my.
Well, so then Lisa also shared with me a really very interesting conversation between two gentlemen. The name of the channel, of course, I couldn't unsee that.
No.
Is new geometry or new sacred geometry? Which one?
Just new geometry.
New geometry, but it's spelled KNEW, just like our new light streaming love. And I'm sorry, but that was too good. And I was so impressed with that entire conversation. Honestly.
I learned a lot. I'm not a mathy gal at all, and I failed geometry. So these guys had me riveted, really. Like when they were breaking out the shape models, that's what my brain needs. I need to see it and feel it and touch it and move it around and really look at it, which is what they were doing. Oh, I just adored that. Yeah, I subscribed to those two. That was fabulous. Well, it was just one gentleman's show, and he had on a guest who had created models as well. So they were, playing together so nicely. It was just beautiful.
Well, yes, and I think
that's in your playlist.
Yes, it is also in the puzzle pieces playlist on both. I believe I did put it on New Light Streaming Love as well as Sassy C or Sheila. So the thing for me also, besides the geometry, which was just excellent, okay, the descriptions that they were having in their conversation, but also what really struck me about these two is that they felt well, for one thing, I know I heard my words coming out of Britt's mouth energetically on more than one occasion. He very specifically was talking in terms of the perception filter of the person that brought the information. Now, specifically speaking, he was speaking about Ashiana.
Right.
About how there's, and I've said this before too, there is not a channel on this planet that does not have their perception filter fully engaged. Yes, they are channeling a higher portion of themselves, but for my money, it comes through that perception filter. So it is going to be colored. Like I said, my own experience in that it was colored what I got through my own perception filter. I had just started a YouTube channel. My last name is Corona. My experience was this was going to be about me. I had nothing about no coronavirus. How would I even, so the truth of the matter is this happens for everyone. And again, I was really glad to hear it that the 9 actually explained that to Magenta as well, because Lisa and I saw a video where Magenta did repeat that very same thing. Not, my words exactly, but again, it's, that same thing. And so that feels to me as though everyone is finally really getting the memo, so to speak, that, oh yeah, that's your perspective because you're the only one that's ever looked out from behind your eyes and lived in your body and had all of those experiences that you've had. Of course, you're completely unique, right? But to hear the way they conversed and kept all of the information that they felt was correct and discarded the rest was exactly, I don't know, it was just beautiful to witness. And definitely part of the reason that I say that conscious conversations belong in the mainstream. The whole idea of classifying these sorts of conversations as woo-woo, in order to bring it out of that woo-woo closet, we got to have them, make them more commonplace.
Right. Well, and
where did woo-woo come from?
Sorry.
No, I just think it's funny, woo-woo.
Yeah.
Same.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah, well, to some people it is.
I get it.
Yeah, it could.
I get it. I remember when I was scared. I remember when I was scared. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The fear factor is real. Go on. Sorry, Lisa.
No, that's all right. Well, Sheila, you reminded me of when you were saying that listening to everybody and you can see that they have a perception filter. Well, I like to consider everybody. So if I'm remembering that everyone is me or a fractal of me, like there's only one being here in totality, that helps me then to recognize that everybody is a piece of the same puzzle, to quote a love letter recently, that each piece has a vital role to play then, right? And so that helps me to recognize everyone is my teacher and potentially my student, meaning if we exchange gifts, right? If I show up with my gift and gift it, and you show up with your gift and gift it, then there is definitely an exchange and a learning / teaching opportunity for both beings. So as I listen to all of the different ones that have something to say on the subject, what I've been noticing is as I pay attention and I go within and I ask my team, my own guidance system within, what should I be focused on? Or a better way to put that actually is I've now learned to ask questions. It's important the question you're asking. If you want a clear answer, you have to have a clear question. So my favorite question is, what do I need to see here to know what's best for me right now? And so when I go into that space, I will clearly get something beautiful from whatever is happening. So as I'm listening, to my guidance, and they're sharing with me what is important for me to know right now, I realize again that I'm listening through my perception filter, or I am interpreting data that I may not fully understand today, right? And I just do my best to take it in, just let it enter me and to sit with it. And whatever words come at this moment to describe it, that's what I go with. So I've been writing a lot about this next year with my own guidance system and essentially how it will play out. This is what my guidance chose to share with me about what was in my highest good to know. So I have this on board first, right? And then I'm listening and I'm taking in what others are saying who are doing the same, right? They're going within and they're asking questions, and then they're sharing the answers that they receive. And I cannot help but see that everyone is singing the same song. So we've got the oboe, we got the flute, we have harps, we have pianos and organs, just every instrument possible is singing. So it doesn't sound exactly the same, but it's harmonics, it's rhythms, there's an emotional piece to it. There's energies that I can pick up that I recognize that resonate, right, with the messages that I'm being downloaded and I'm swimming in right now. And I just think it is so beautiful and majestic. And I love to hearing what everyone else, how they interpret the energetic download that they're receiving. And I really can see this beautiful way that a wider, bigger picture is coming very clear to me. Like this one over here has a specific way of looking at it and understanding it, like especially these beautiful young men with the geometry piece.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is so far not in my wheelhouse at all. And yet, because it was in theirs, they were able to take that data and embody it, meaning create something in the physical that helped me to understand even more of the personal data I was receiving about, the same topic. And I just think that is amazing, and that I really see our unity rising, and it's rising within each one of us. And when we sing our note, the harmonics that is being created here is just giving me body rushes. I'm just so adoring what we're doing right now. We, humanity, it's very exciting.
Well, I loved that you chose the symphony,
yeah,
as your metaphor, because in truth, when you described what the young men did for you by showing up and embodying the gift that drew them, and this is where I talk about moving towards what brings you the highest joy is your purpose, because clearly those young men were very drawn to the sacred geometry. They're so drawn that they're drawing it, they're 3D modeling it, they're building models of it, they're, playing around with the perspectives of it. And so with that too, by helping you from your description, it is embodying that symphony. And for me, seeing that too, pulling it out to that more expansive picture, because we are studying the new earth, the handbook for the new paradigm, right? Because of what this book talks about with those universal laws. When you think about the law of attraction, I always forget that second one, and the law of allowance, right? These things, they interplay. That's how the symphony is created. There is no forcing. There doesn't have to be any forcing. So gosh, I love that.
But everybody playing their notes, singing it out loudly, and it all comes together. Think of it, universe. We are but one song. And I feel the unity in it more than I ever have ever. And I know it's because I'm choosing to see it. It's always been there. It's not something that's just happened, but you could say I happened upon that perspective, and it is enlightened me in ways that are just delightful to me right now.
Well, the other thing that you brought forward for me earlier when you were speaking on the different perspectives, right? And how there really is only the one here.
Yeah.
We all know the truth of, or if you don't, ask any cop who's ever investigated accidents where there are multiple witnesses,
right?
That everybody's got a different story, but they all saw the same thing. Part of it has to do with the perspective, where they were standing, what were they feeling, were they really paying attention? And it's the
what were they focusing upon?
It is the exact same thing for everything else. And that's why I really do see now on such a huge level where it is everything is perspective.
Yeah.
It's not that what somebody is going through is untrue. No.
Do you know what's funny about that?
What's that?
Okay, like think of what the eye holds, think of the shape of the eye, think of the perspectives, think about what other people comment on that we all have. Belly buttons and buttholes, O's, perspectives, right? We all have that different perspective. And the way I see it, most of our stuff is held within our visual field.
Well,
so
we can all agree.
We wire ourselves into
right, and
trauma,
we all agree. Everybody
ourselves.
On this planet will agree that to everything we just said, but then try to force each other to accept
to see their
way of being.
I say, like, let's be like how many billions of people are on the earth? Is it 8 billion yet?
I don't know, probably.
I'm just gonna take a guesstimate here and say around 8 billion. I think it was 7 at some point. I could be completely absolutely wrong.
I think that feels about
right.
Me too.
So that's that many different eyeballs of the great energy that we all are. Yeah. And then it makes it easier to see that everybody, like, even when we're wronged by one another,
Right.
that's just me screwing myself over in some way, shape, or form, which is what I teach people, because that's what we're creating ourselves from our own perspective. And like, oh, so that person just came in and embodied the actor that presented what you believe to be true in your life. I mean, I don't, right?
No,
Yeah.
but that's absolutely true.
Change this, change the frame, change your little binoculars, and maybe you can shift perspective. Trust me, it's a daily practice. I can't always change perspective. It's very difficult, but it's so fun to try every day.
So
It
That's all I'm saying.
is
Just try
fun.
it daily. Be present in your moment. Be like, can I challenge myself daily? Can I reframe this daily? Can I see this and rewire this daily? That's all like that. It's that simple and that complex. Again, let's look at the hourglass again.
right, right. So I want to ask you guys because, I've had quite a few things. Do you feel like you're on a different timeline and or in a different body again? Because I know I do. And I would like to just jump out and say I think Lisa is, but I think you've changed bodies, Lisa.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Very possibly.
Yeah.
I do
Oh my gosh,
feel
you mean since yesterday?
big changes for
Hold on,
No, I
sure.
hold on.
noticed it. I noticed it yesterday.
I have to
Okay.
tell you, yesterday to me, I was looking at you and we were having book club, right? You were looking a little bit like gray and like kind of like a little bit to me, right? But today, vibrant. Like, I don't know. Like sometimes I think it's just the way I'm not saying it's an auric field that I see. It's just the way I
No, I
see. I
understand.
think way we present each other. I mean, I could look at myself and think I'm like different every day, but I looked at myself in the mirror and I don't mean my face. But I looked at my body, I was like, who are you? Like, like who are you?
Yeah,
And
I've
I'm
done
like,
that quite a bit.
right?
I know that
And
feeling
I'm
very
just like,
well.
I don't feel like I'm not uncomfortable in this body, but like you're not the same person that I grew up with per se, but you are, but you're not. It's very weird. And I wouldn't say it's specifically because do X, Y, or Z, whatever that may be. I
Yeah.
don't understand it. I looked at it today, I was like, is it just what I'm wearing? Is it just,
Well, I
and not that it's
personally have a
better or not,
telltale
it's just
sign.
different. It's just different,
No,
different.
you're right. It is different. For me personally, I have a couple of telltale signs. I
Okay.
have
What's
I
that?
have I have a scar under my nose that I received as a young child. Now, generally, I know that scars will shrink
Mm,
and or stretch depending on things.
sure.
Uh, but this is way underneath of my nose, and it hasn't really done anything of any remarkability that I could remember most of my life until I started noticing that it was much larger and then much smaller. And there again, I'm not gaining weight and losing weight that fast.
Right.
And it has to, for me, that is one of the telltale signs. And I have a couple of other ones. But for me, there are, different marks on my body. I also have a scar here from a PIC line while I was, in the hospital all that time
Oh,
that that disappeared during one interchange that now is back. So, there are things like that I have noticed about myself.
yeah.
And so I just
Well, and it could even be even more subtle than that for me. So, I have lost about 130 pounds. Well, I've been looking at some Facebook memories that have been surfacing. And I can almost not remember being that lady. Like I see the picture and I see myself and I have vague memories of her. I feel so different inside of me because of how I choose to see things, how I choose to behave, how I choose to talk to myself are so radically different that I can't even really connect to her. I can't go, oh, I remember that day and how that felt. Like it's almost like I'm looking at someone else's life. I don't know, it's a very subtle but almost bizarre feeling to me. And I know it's me, and I have memories of that day, but it's almost like, you know how when people have amnesia and you're saying, this is you and this is your mom, and you're trying to show them pictures and bring them back to themselves. And they're like, I see that's me, but I can't really connect to it. That's kind of how I feel sometimes. And so it almost feels to me like I jumped from body to body, because, and I know it was a slow and long journey for me to lose this weight. And yet a part of me feels as though it happened like that.
Right.
So I think that there's a lot of that going on with the timelines.
Yeah, I think so too.
Change.
Crystal added in the chat that she has 3 markers herself that come and go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, now that you're saying this, I'm noticing that I was noticing things that are kind of like more pronounced, less pronounced, more pronounced, less pronounced, for no good reason at all. Yes.
Right. Has nothing to do with an illness, has nothing to do with a weight gain or loss, has nothing to do with, and for me, it has to do mostly with scars. I mean, I'm sorry, but a PICC line generally don't disappear and come back when you ain't been in the hospital again. You know what I mean?
I've literally been losing people, not literally losing, but losing.
I understand.
They're not dead. They're not dead, but
it's not a part of your life.
Like they just poof, or they, and the strangest thing is other ones will float back in.
Yeah.
Well,
I find that I think some of our timelines are so similar. It's like, over here in this timeline, I kept this over here or whatever. And I think I went to bed and I put it here, but when I get up in the morning, it's in a completely different location.
Right.
And I kind of feel like in those moments that I did jump a timeline, but I didn't change it. Like they're so similar, the timelines themselves, that it didn't change so drastically that I could say that was a timeline leap. But more and more often that is rising up within me, that I'm jumping timelines.
Yeah.
Even though
Crystal just offered, she said a birthmark generally won't disappear and come back, LOL. So that must be one of her markers.
Truth.
Oh, that's fine.
Right.
Truth.
That's awesome, man. That's an awesome one to have too, boy.
Yeah,
that is, yeah. I mean, like there's no change in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So like I was saying, with all of these different things, and even the one was talking about how all the light workers, many on the planet are, and this goes to what you were saying earlier, Lori, about feeling the chaos, right? Because what the one said was everybody feels something coming, right? And there, I mean, even beings that we wouldn't classify as awake and aware,
right,
are also feeling this in their own very specific ways. Is my feeling. And I can't help notice, like I said, I can't help but notice the talk, there's so much talk about Phoenix energy, right? We are, for lack of better terminology, phoenixing the human body. I mean, those who chose to embody and I say give this a go, because I know I've been told that was what part of this year was about for me, was, are you sure you want to continue to try to embody on the earth? Because it ain't going to be easy on me in particular, because of all the damage I've done to this physical vessel prior. And so it's, and listen, we've got several things now that for me that are puzzle pieces that I can point to in the medical industry with people that I know, anatomy, being rearranged or in a different place. Normal, abnormal heart rhythms. I'm sorry, ain't the first question what the F does that mean? Because that's what I want to know. When somebody says, "Did you know you got a heart condition?" No. What heart condition? Well, you got a normal, abnormal heart rhythm. I'm sorry, what the hell is that? That to me, that says there's enough people on the planet that have an anomalous heart rhythm that they can't explain, that now they're calling it normal, abnormal, because they got nothing else. Just like with, fibromyalgia and several other things that they don't know what to do. So they're just going to throw a name on it and give you a pill for whatever the symptoms are. So, so that's kind of what it felt like to me when I started hearing that. And that's a loved one that's going on with. So, I'm sorry, but it seems to me like the human body is evolving right now. As we sit here, the human body is evolving.
Yes.
And so the fact that people are talking about Phoenix energy, there's so much of that.
Well, my guidance used that Phoenix and metaphor with me, because I'm having lots of difficulties right now with my body. And I've been doing a lot of work lately in the area of my body, and I've been, working to nourish my body better than I have in a very, very long time. I'm, spending a lot of time with my body, and to have the level of pain and ongoing issues I'm having with my hands right now and my arms both. And my guidance is telling me I'm phoenixing. I even was shown a little clip from the Harry Potter video when they are transforming their bodies to look like two other characters, and they drink the potion, and then, like weird things happen to their faces and they look all distorted, and then boom, they look like somebody completely different.
Right.
And that's kind of, my guidance is saying you're going to transform your body completely, and you thought you weren't going to feel it. Which made me laugh, because of course, because I was holding it as I shouldn't be getting worse right now. I should be getting better. And the question was about, are you getting worse? Is that what's happening here? And no, it really isn't. I'm having some healing reactions from the level of healing work that I'm doing with my body. And so for the first time, some very old issues that have, like Sheila was talking about, damage I have already done to my body now for the first time has the energetic wherewithal and the nutritional building blocks available consistently enough to make it a priority and a project. And so, yeah, lots of inflammation is happening because we're getting my cells have been activated into action, is what I get. And that they have the tools and the desire to get to some things that needed repair. And I'm cooperating for the first time, really 100% fully. Because sometimes I do some great bypassing. My ego is, an evil genius and can convince me of things, to ignore my internal guidance and to do what's really best for me. But the more that I practice really making that a priority and following it, great things are happening. Lots of pain and inflammation. But from the perspective that that I am actually healing some potentially lifelong issues makes me feel excited about going through this process. And it's slowing me down. It's asking me to honor my body and to really, I don't know, I'm acknowledging now that my body is a sacred and holy vessel, and it is now actually going to have the freedom from my tyranny to do what it's longed to do since I got here. And so for me, that feels like a very sacred act. And I'm challenging, other belief systems that says I have to produce and do and be very busy. When my body is asking me to rest and be present with it. And so I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's challenging. Yes. It's painful. Absolutely. But it's also been a huge growth experience. And I have never felt closer to my soul than I do right now, behaving the way that I am finally. Not just talking about it, but being about it. That's a different thing.
All right, I'm going to listen to my body, but I'm just going to mute it and turn the video off for a second. You keep talking.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I noticed, Lisa, because we do live together, and I know that you left on Monday, right? Didn't you leave Monday because your mom's?
It was Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning is when you left?
Yeah.
Okay, so from Tuesday morning to when I saw you yesterday.
Yeah, and those are a rough couple of days.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Your body presented completely different to me.
Yeah, and it
when I saw you in Zoom yesterday.
It did today. It was like I passed through something overnight, and I was awake for most of it. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, we're not really getting very much from the folks in the chat chiming in and sharing what's kind of going on for them. I just wondered if anybody's, really noticing anything huge. I don't feel like I said, to me, it's all huge because I feel as though, and here's the other thing. Again, for me, it's all a matter of perspective, right? I just found it so synchronistic and interesting that, this information came up. And we've talked about timelines, on every different kinds of way we've talked over the last few years.
Yeah, a lot of ways.
And it was kind of interesting to me when Disney Plus came out with Loki last year, right? And now I guess season 2 just came out in October. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I feel as though there's an awful lot of puzzle pieces surrounding that possibility. And because of my own inner guidance several times, sharing with me that timelines are wrapping up and things like that. And it makes a lot of sense to me, no matter what, that would be the case, or, especially if things are possible, which I really feel like they are.
Right.
But now I wanted to say, I think, I'm pretty sure that Lori will be able to, is still hearing us. She said she would.
I'm back.
Okay, good. Great. I have my eyes closed.
Thank you. Cute Lori.
Yes.
Right?
Well, the reason I brought you up is that when we first started talking about the 1111 portal, here's my, I'm not saying that there's not energy today. What I am saying is to tie it to 1111 seems a bit, I don't know. There's something off about it. I don't know what to say, but all I know is that this is not the same calendar that we've always had. It's been, the calendars and all that stuff. The same thing for all those other portals, the Lionsgate.
I don't. Okay, I think it's more of an energetic situation, and about like because I was, and I'm not. I'd have to fact check it,
but that's just me too. I feel it energetically, but I'm interested and curious to know who tied it.
I saw in Arizona. I'm not sure where in Arizona, but I saw it posted today for Veterans Day. There is an art installation outdoors that at 11/11 every November 11th it shines through these columns, and it projects the image of like some sort of emblem for Veterans Day. So they found the right longitude and latitude at the right time and place. That's what I'm saying. So I just take it as an energetic archetype. So yes, we're at the physical place where humans have demarcated 11/11 at this time and place, their timeline, but the energy can't be corrupted because that is a doorway. That's an energy. It shows that the sun can come through at certain doorways. So they did align it with some sort of energetic time on this specific date and time every flipping year. So I have to think that there's some sort of harnessing of so it's the sun that came through. So the way I like to, and I think I've said this to y'all as well, and I've said it to clients, I think of us as one big ball of energy like the sun, and each of us gets an individual ray of light into us in order to start us up and keep us going. Now we can choose to stay in the light, in the beam of light, or we can move to this side, that side, because we go into the dark side of the light a lot of the time, right? And I think that just is just an archetypal like image where they harness that energy specifically, maybe through physics. I don't know, again, way above my pay grade, but I like seeing the synchronicities because I just pull, like you said, I pull in the pieces. I have no education to where that goes, but I feel it in my nervous system to where I'm like, when I get excited about stuff, I feel like I'm on the right track. I don't mean like overly excited, like I just got on a roller coaster. I mean, like I'm just generally sitting in my chair going giddy, like I'm feeling my nervous system spiral, again, the spiral up instead of, I know what the spiral down feels like. And trust me, I could sit here and do the spiral down if I wanted to. I practice it a lot. I hear a lot. And in fact, I often go to the spiral down on my own perspective, even when I'm hearing hard stuff from other people. I think it's the relation of what that vibe feels like. So I don't want to stay stuck in it. So it's like the taking it and not holding on to it energy. And we all have that option. Or are we choosing to hold on to what our vibe feels like for us in the upbeat nature, in the could, should, instead of the should, the could, the can, the will, the shall.
Right. Yeah, I feel like what I'm describing and what you're describing are two different things. In that, because those same sorts of alignments that you're speaking on for that have been done for, there's so many places on the planet where, to demarcate a particular point in time, they find the right alignment and then build a monument.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, that's one of the reasons I think the ancients did that sort of thing, was in an attempt to communicate with folks in the far future, according to some, right?
That's what I'm saying. If you're thinking even just 11/11 at 11/11 on a Tuesday, and not November 11th, it's an energetic feeling. So, but I think what you're saying is that others have co-opted the 11/11.
Well, no, I was just speaking on like the different portals that's supposed to open on specific.
I have no idea about portals. I don't know.
Well, see, that's what I'm speaking. Well, that's what I was speaking.
And I think it's more like the portals are always available to us.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm speaking on. You're exactly correct. That's exactly what I'm speaking on. In that, the reason I think I might have brought this up is that there are those out there that hear that sort of thing. Oh, it's 11:11. The portal is open. And while I
the
kind of
portal's always open.
but you know, for me, funny. It's like it's just there's something. I know what I'm feeling about it. It's and it's a bit hard to describe, but there's always been an underlying current, and this is what with the woo-woo thing too, right? An underlying current of the misinformation, disinformation in everything. When the new thought starts happening, there's always an attempt to muddy those waters. And for me, my read and feel on things like the Lion's Gate, the 11:11 portal, these sorts of things, because of the fact that this is a Gregorian calendar. Who decided that on this date, this was always going to be? Those kinds of things are, like you said, they're always open. To me, they're always open. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the energy rises more and recedes more, but I'm sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. But I feel like what you're speaking to, I mean, I don't know if this is what you're speaking to, but this is what came up within me when I heard you say that, is sometimes when I hear those dates, or they'll say, you know, even with some of the astrological positionings and all of that, there's a weird thing that happens within me where I feel like, oh no, I'm going to miss the bus. Like I didn't prepare for this, or I heard about it and it happened yesterday and I wasn't paying attention to jumping through this particular hoop or writing this particular thing, and I get this little bit about, oh no, I missed it. I missed the portal, and I feel kind of icky inside of me. And so I applied something that I'm going to talk about here. Okay, so when I was a nanny, I was a nanny for people. And at the time I, had this question come up to me because people were instituting this new thing called a nanny cam hidden in a teddy bear somewhere. And so everybody wanted to ask me, how do you feel about that? And what if you're being recorded? And I did kind of have a feeling about that. Like when I heard the news, I felt like, well, that's creepy. And I wouldn't want to be recorded without my knowledge. And so I had a little chat with myself about that. And myself said, why? Why would that bother you to be recorded? And I was like, I don't know. What if I picked my nose or I farted? I mean, stuff happens. And that would be like, it would go down on my permanent record. And I had to come to terms with, I'm recorded all the time. Like, there is no real privacy if we're all one. So what I began to institute for myself was, I just behave as though the parents that I work for are in the room with me at all times, whether they are or they aren't. Would I fart or pick my nose? Probably not. So why not just adjust my behavior right now? And then I don't have to worry about being recorded. So when I caught myself feeling very oogie or left behind, or like I didn't do the right ritual and I didn't say the right things and I didn't do the right dance on the big day, and I've missed out on it because I was feeling that way, truly. I remembered that if I were to do the right dance and, do the things that make me feel proud of me, if because somebody described these astronomical situations as like a picture, the universe taking a picture at that moment in time and reading the photograph. Was I happy? Was I sad? And then it's going to bless me with more of whatever I was emanating during that time that the picture was taken, right? And then that's the experience that this planet would focus on gifting me until its return when it takes another picture of me. So I just decided to behave all the time the way that I want the universe to, like, not be a Sunday go to meeting type Christian like Sheila used to always say, right? Like act like a complete arse all week long, but as long as I show up with my Sunday hat and go out to Sunday buffet after the service, it's all good because I've done the dance and the ritual and I showed up when I was supposed to show up. And instead, I'm practicing embodying, doing the dance, doing what it is that I want the universe to gift me more of every day, in every moment of now. And I don't save it for the special occasion or the just right alignment or the portal to open up and then gift me whatever it is I'm looking for. Because just like Lori was saying, these portals are open essentially all the time. And the universe is listening to me and responding to me all the time. And so I tried to just kind of let all of that stuff go and just acknowledge that it's really important for me and to me to be on my best behavior every day and to show my best side all the time, not just at the right moment so that I can be gifted some big reward. And then I just feel much better. I feel super relaxed. And I just love to hear everybody's opinion on what it means to them. And it doesn't give me that same oogie feeling inside me that I've missed some major boat because this person knew and they planned and they had a picnic lunch. And so now they're going to get all the good things and I will get none. Because for me, there's no truth in that reality.
FOMO. That's FOMO. I was thinking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I was thinking of all the people that are doing fun stuff that I'm doing. I'm thinking, I don't want to go anywhere. I like what? No, FOMO. That's just FOMO. Like I'm just not engaged in what the general population of me is out there doing without me. And I'm choosing to be me here. So I'm actually out there doing it anyway. So if I hold on to the vibe, like remember, where do you want to be? Do you want to be like a vibe of negativity or a vibe of like, I can still be at home and enjoy that there's other people out there having a great vibe, dancing, to like a good song at a club or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking that earlier when my kids were playing music in the car. I'm like, man, I really wish I was out there dancing to like some, 1990s good songs in the club again. I'm thinking, do I really though? Because I can just turn the weird lights on in here and turn the music on in my headphones and do the same thing without any of the drama.
Right, exactly.
Vibe it.
Lisa, I need to ask you because I'm having some kind of a pressure change in here. Are you feeling anything?
Not at the moment.
I mean, my ears feel like
but I feel like something is constantly tickling my nose. Like I
always feel like that.
I
always feel like that.
Like something's on my face.
Well,
so since this conversation, that's been ongoing. So that's what I'm experiencing.
According to some, that's a sign that your guidance is close, that your guidance is near, or that some guidance is trying to get your attention. According to some people, I've heard that.
Okay.
Change direction. Turning you by the nose. Yeah. Look over here, not over here.
Okay.
Well, I know I've heard several readers, and myself included, if I'm doing a reading and my nose starts itching uncontrollably,
that's your guidance.
That's a big sign.
Okay.
I don't necessarily always know what it's a sign of. And in this particular case, since it's for you, since you said it's been ongoing since we started, I would say that.
Yeah, like it's all over my face. I keep thinking it's hair or something, and I just want to.
Right, right. Well, nobody in
being energetic, right?
No, say, oh yeah, absolutely.
And then you're feeling it more pressure, internal pressure.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in an airplane and my ears are trying to
Mom
pop.
kept saying that over the last couple of days. She says, "Oh no, I'm underwater again," because she's having that like
it could be
pressure feeling. Huh.
Yeah, it's very interesting because
I think it's energy. That's and this feels like that too because it's phantom. So
this is actually causing my right eardrum to vibrate at an odd.
Well, my feet are vibrating like crazy right now too.
Oh yes, same thing with me.
I think
in fact, I would lay in bed at night. I would lay in bed the last few nights, or maybe I remember feeling it. I'm not sure when the last time I felt it was, but feeling the energy flow out of my feet.
Just pouring.
And not in the back. I feel it right now. I feel it right now.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
They're tingling.
Yes.
So what is everybody in the chat feeling? Anybody want to chime in and share how you guys are, what you've been experiencing?
What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Yeah. What's going on in your neck of the woods? I don't know. I just feel like I have noticed over the last 3 or 4 days for myself, a renewed renewed sense of energy for myself and my body, my being, but also a renewed sense of I'm not going to say renewed because it actually feels quite different.
New then.
Right. For me, there's like there's way more of me in this physical vessel. Whether this is a new one or not, I don't know exactly, but
it's all you.
Well, yes, but I mean a different one from before. But I know that there's way more of the divinity that's entering is more centered. It's like
I'm feeling that for you too, Sheila. And it seemed to be, I'm trying to think of what happened. There was an event, either because I think it was prior to your going to visit your sister. I don't know what it was, but there was like a turning point that I could say after that date or time, that moment, you began to be way more active physically. And I'm not going to say that's new because that is a bit of a renewing. Because when I first came here, you were very active physically. Right. And then you were on sort of a downward trajectory with that. And there was a rather flattening out period.
Right.
But you have become way more physical, way just busy, less sitting, if that is
right.
an accurate term. And with that, there is actually more vitality present within you.
I feel palpable.
And so I would also agree that you're more divinity, like you're really getting in here,
right?
From my perspective.
Right.
And it's showing in your doings. And of course, also your words. And I can tell that the reason your doing and your words are changing because your internal dialogue is changing, because it's emanating completely different without, if that makes any sense. It's in your field differently.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. And you're right, that inner dialogue absolutely is changing. Well, Summer has shared with this. She said, I have been experiencing endless snot dry cough, intense jaw pain, and eye headaches lately. I do feel much more clarity and insight available too.
Yeah, see, that's your Phoenix moment. You're morphing.
Yeah, and I want to share for you, Summer, that as I read what you were sharing there, what I'm getting for you is that is a healing, detoxing reaction that you're having.
Yeah, I felt
That's what I'm feeling from it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it came with more clarity and not less. Because you can tell a downward spiral like injury and illness. It's less clarity, more brain fog. So that's how I deduce it within me.
Yeah,
you know, is this an upward spiral or a downward? And even upward spirals come with healing reactions, which is a beautiful thing. I'll take one any day.
Right.
Yeah, because even healing can be painful, but it's a pain I enjoy. Like, think about when you go to the gym and you're working out your muscles. In reality, you're micro tearing them. So you're breaking down your muscle in order to build it back up. And then you're stronger than you were before the gym. So I've had to change my perspective on pain. And I've now made it my friend because first it signals to me where I'm at. Yep. And how I feel about the pain also. Because when I go to the gym and I feel stiff, then I come home and I go, wow, that's really great. My muscles really feel like I worked out.
Yes.
And they feel fatigued, and that pain is savored and, feels delicious to me.
You shared something there about, the spiraling up and the spiraling down. And that's the other thing that I, through all those different puzzle pieces that we've looked at over the past week, in regards to timelines and whatnot, I can't help but remark on the interpretation of those two, what they were claiming were overlapping at this juncture timelines that would be completely separating, and how the perspective is exactly that. And because I keep being shown that the negative self-talk, the victimhood perspective is that downward spiral.
Indeed.
And I don't particularly care for the way it's worded in the new paradigm, but again, taking into account perception filters, rather than say victor is the opposite or a victim. I feel empowerment is for me, there's, it's you're a victim or you're empowered. For me, that's how I frame it for myself. Right. And so that too comes into those two different timelines, the victim, because there's no place for victimhood in sovereignty. Really, there's not.
None.
And everything I keep being shown and everything I feel about it, at least in my reality, that's the timeline trajectory I know I'm on, is where power over other is no longer supported in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
And because it really isn't supported now. Any of that kind of falls flat, if you ask me, on all sorts of levels. When we look out into the stage and we see where there are beings who are exercising power over other, it doesn't go over all that well, and folks ain't falling for it no more, if you get my meaning.
Right. And there's blowback, like comes back to you very quickly.
Yes, almost immediate, it would seem, and
yes, very much so.
Right. so, you know, for me, that was a lot of what I was hoping we, you know, brought forward in this conversation too, because I feel like a lot of us have already sort of observed what folks have talked about, bifurcation of timelines and that sort of thing, is we've been talking about this for, you know, a while. And very clearly, it looks very clear to me like there are, at the very least, when you look at the collective reality, there's at least two, because, you know, I belong to a collective reality where a lot of what's happening in this other collective reality just doesn't exist, right? Because there's still a lot of victimhood and all that kind of stuff going on over there. And that feels like two separate, totally separate realities and two completely separate, different perspectives of the one, you know, collective, right? So, I mean, I don't know what, I don't know how else to share that, but the way you spoke about that is what I saw immediately there.
I love it.
It was one of the synchronicities, one of the reasons it felt like a big puzzle piece to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been a lot of fun.
I know, this feels so good to play like this again.
I know, it really does. I'm so glad that you two were available, and I hope next time. I guess I didn't plan very well, Crystal. I thought Crystal would be available to join us, and as it turned out, she was unable to join us tonight.
Well, we'll just have to plan another real soon.
Yes, well, and this was the first live on New Light Streaming Love.
Woohoo!
And you know, I'm really sad that Crystal
well. I mean, you jumped right in. We had no FUBARs. It was beautiful.
No FUBARs whatsoever.
Once I finally figured out what I was doing wrong,
I love that. No FUBARs.
Well, we've attempted this before. I say attempted. See,
zero FUBARs given. Zero FUBARs given.
Well, so do we want to talk about what's coming up on New Light Streaming Love for a minute? Because I know that. Say what?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. You're killing me. Tell
me. Hey, if anybody would like to have a story with Lori, I'm open for more. I'm streaming along. I've got a couple of people who like who have difficulty scheduling with me on a regular basis, but I'm open, ready for it. I think I'm a week behind, maybe week ahead. I don't know. Sheila and I have to redo ours.
Yes. Well, just to give everybody a little idea of what it is that you're doing there,
It was
Lori.
a lot of fun. I love
you know, for
Lori. So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. I like to get your birth date, time, and place, and like let's look at your blueprint, just you know, and maybe intermingle it with a little bit of the invisible garment and human design a little bit. I'm no expert on either, but I like the degrees for the human design as well, and talk about how it, you know, goes along with what they experience in their story and what their life story is, like the life sentence that we all tell each other, right? Or tell ourselves,
right?
Which is like, it could either be your life sentence where you design your life sentence, or you're stuck in a life sentence.
I like that. Very
your internal prison.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, very funny. Yeah. So how can folks get in touch with you to schedule that?
Okay, so just, I guess, email me directly, or email the knewlightstreaming.love email. I don't know exactly what that is. Maybe do you have that on hand?
Well, I do. Which one would you prefer?
Well, do the New Light Stream. That way we know. So
okay. All right. So yes, that would be knewlightstreaminglove@gmail.com. In the subject line, put "Tell your story to Lori," and
forward it right to me, and you'll get me right to email you back.
Right. And then, well, do you want them to go ahead and include the information and some ideas about
I would
time?
love, yeah, I would love their birth date, time, place information ahead of time, just
Right.
so I can get it and have a little bit of a feel for it. I'm still, as I've said to many people, looking for a better software that'll be readable to bring up. It might be a while, but at least we're talking about it, and at least I can see the chart. They have a copy of the chart. I also ask if they get a copy of their chart. If they need me to make one for them, I can do that.
Nice.
Okay. Well, and we can get together after this or tomorrow or something because I have a few ideas for you to assist with that, so that you can pull those up in Zoom. Um,
Excellent.
so if anyone wants to have a tell your story to Lori, which Crystal just said that a new episode of Tell Your Story to Lori will be out tomorrow. So
Woohoo!
make sure you subscribe so that you can get that, and then be sure to share these videos if you feel so called, so that it has something to do with the algorithms, I suppose. And so send that email to knewlightstreaminglove@gmail.com. Put tell your story to Lori in the subject line, include your birth date, time, and place. And I think it would be a good idea to go ahead and tell Lori give her a little bit of an idea of your time zone, what your scheduling days, look like would be better for you if it's an evening or whatever, because she's a very busy lady and she's got to try to figure out a schedule for you. That'd be
Yeah,
good?
we'll make it work.
All
Always
right.
willing to make it work.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. And Lisa, you are writing, and folks can find you at knewlightstreaming.love. For all of your writings, go to www.knewlightstreaming.love. I'm sorry. Y'all, when I found out that you could have a internet address that was .love instead of .com,
Right in love.
I know, right? I'm sorry. Who wouldn't want that instead of .com? I don't got
And
no interest in
right,
doing
let's get
commerce.
love. Let's get
That's
love
right.
trending.
I'm all about the love.
That's right. Exactly. I got no interest in doing commerce. I only want to do stuff in love. So the fact that that was available was just, perfect as far as I'm concerned. So go there and they can find you. And what are you doing, Lisa?
Well, I got quite a few things going on, and that is primarily where I'm going to park everything. So, if you'll scroll, of course, I'm on my phone always. So somewhere on the page, you'll see a picture of me, and Rush Solutions Tools for Transformation is the name of my page. And everything that I'm doing, I'm going to post there so that you can find out what I'm up to these days. So I have a workshop, I have a blog, and I also wanted to talk a little bit tonight about the book study, because we're having so much fun studying together as a group that I'd really like to expand it if anyone else was interested. So if you were to click underneath writings, the section called book study, imagine that, it's called book study. It'll take you to a page that kind of describes what we have going on there, and if you're interested in joining us, what you can do. So it's just an email that I have there for Rush Solutions, and if you were to contact me, just put your name or your in the subject line, put book study, and then leave me with maybe some availability, just a open sort of availability time frame, because if 3 people reach out and contact me, or as soon as 3 people reach out and contact me, I will schedule a meet and greet for us to get together, and we can explore book study together. So all of that is there. And so I'm in case people don't know, I'm taking a self-mastery masterclass with myself. So I
love that.
Yeah, I have set aside time each week to study with my greater being and to download information. And through this process, I've been given a couple assignments. So one of them was the workshop, and we have new assignments that I'm currently working on. And so these assignments I'm to share publicly. One of them was love letters from the universe, which is love letters from the universe, if you can imagine that. And there you can, on the page, Russ Solutions, you can read about my team that is sharing the love letters. So on this galactic journey, I have many fractals and parts of myself that have reached out and are communicating with me. And we've got a regular gig going, me and my team. I like to call them the Fab Five because they are fabulous and wonderful. And they have asked me to share certain things with you all. And so I am doing that on the blog. And go ahead, Sheila.
Well, I was just going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but folks can get access to your workshop on knewlightstreaminglove as well, right?
Yes, everything is there. This is where I will post. That's my new home on the interwebs. And so anything and everything that I'm participating in, you can find over there. Now, I am computer unsavvy at the moment, and I am trying to savvy up. Okay, and I say trying because sometimes I try an awful lot and then I don't get anywhere. So it's slowly but surely coming along, and I will be posting everything that I wish to share with all of you right there. So you can go there anytime and get the most up to date as I can be, because, I'm figuring out how to get this stuff up there. But so come back and see us sometime and explore around, and I'll be like, I have another assignment that I'm currently working on that will also end up over there. So, it's a good idea to periodically come and see what all of us gals have going, because the page is evolving and growing. So it will continue to do that.
Right. Well, and I wish Crystal was here, but I got to tell y'all, that is one hard working gal. I want y'all to know, because this is the inaugural live for New Light Streaming Love. And because you're not here, Crystal, I'm gonna get to say all of what I want to say about it. This was all Crystal's idea, and she has worked so very hard. And I want y'all to know that we not only do we have a YouTube channel, we have a Rumble channel, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, or excuse me, X. We have, what else? We got TikTok.
Twitter.
Well, X, whatever. But we also have TikTok. We have.
Shut the front door.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me what we do on none of them, because I don't know. I don't know how to get there. I don't know how we do it. Crystal, that's what I'm saying. That's a hard working gal. That
Crystal goddess. I gotta tell you.
I want to know about that TikTok so I can get my kids on there to see that. I have no idea. I don't use it.
For New Light Streaming Love, it's there.
Woo, woo. Let's get the millennials, Gen Zs, and the Gen A's on there. Wake up.
All the gens, man. Come on. Let's all play.
Yes. And so
everybody, and the boomers and the rest of Gen X. Let's have everybody. All the energy.
I hope everybody's really going and taking a look at the channel, because Crystal has done some videos, y'all, that I
Yes.
didn't even know. She did some stuff on Halloween. She did some stuff on Gnosis.
I loved that. That was really good.
Me too. Y'all got to go and check it out. Oh yes, we also, ladies, we have hit the big time. New Light Streaming Love is on Spotify.
Really?
Okay, we are on. Yes, I told you, Crystal has got us going.
Wow.
Well, I want y'all to all know something too, because when Crystal proposed this, okay, we all had the same feeling. Get ready.
Yeah.
All right, because now's the time.
Yeah.
So now the work really begins, as far as I'm concerned, and I don't. It's really because I can feel it. Now, Lisa knows this whole year I was not drawn to record. I had no interest in my channel in doing. When Corona Rising went down, I was like, well, I guess I'm kind of really not surprised, because I ain't been there. I really don't care. I don't know if I'm even ever going to come back. To be honest with you, at that point, I really wasn't sure, but like I said, this whole past week, something really has changed for me personally. So I think there has been another.
Y'all, I have to tell you something. So I have this cute little tarot deck that I just keep here, and it's got this little crystal.
Can you show us?
Like rose quartz over. So I just opened the deck. Yeah, it's a little mini deck, right? Right.
Oh,
the middle of guess what I picked?
What'd you pick?
Can you see it?
No.
Oh, the Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
It's the wheel turning.
And wait, it gets better, because right underneath it is
Okay.
Magician.
Ah.
Okay, and right in front of it, Ace of Wands.
Well, there you go. The time is now.
And I generally just pick one, then you go behind and front and back and see what's up, and
right.
Let's go, girls.
Nope, it's time. I do feel that. Well, I really love it. Thank you guys for coming, for joining us, for showing up, for sticking it out through the whole thing, because I saw that there were 5 folks watching, and that number never changed. So I would just like to thank you so much.
Well, wait, 5 is the number of change.
Yes, that's right.
Change.
That's true. Yep, that's absolutely right.
Oh, it's so amazing. It doesn't matter.
Well,
5, it doesn't matter.
Fab 5.
Because 5 is
Thanks
5 billion
here.
in the energy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I am hoping to make I don't know that it'll be a regular thing every Saturday night, but I do want to make a regular night for conscious conversations to take place. Whether they take place here or they take place over on Sassy C or Sheila, I'd prefer they take place here. And I'm going to put this out there again. I am looking for folks who want to come and have and participate in these sorts of conversations. The only real requirement is to be open, receptive to new concepts. That's all. To not prejudge. I will say, I think everyone could use.
It's like free your mind, and the rest will follow.
Ooh.
It's just a 90s song by En Vogue.
That's one of my most favorite songs.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Love
I'm just quoting En Vogue.
Yep.
But I tell you, all since like June, when I was in Boston, which is where I first heard the song years ago, walking through, thinking about it again. It's time. It's been beating forever since the Aquarius and Saturn last time. Let's go.
No, that's true. That's right. Well, apparently my Aquarius rising is up front leading the way for me. So I'm good.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, everyone. Thank you for being here so much. And if you are interested in joining a conscious conversation, reach out to me at consciousconversationcentral@gmail.com or through Facebook if we are friends, and we'll get that set up for any sort of private conversation or a public conversation, a live stream. I don't care. I'm just, it's time to start conversating, man.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, that feels good.
Till next time, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It really, truly is just a matter of perspective. Be well, my friends.
Yes, it is.
Much love.
Live long and